You probably showered this morning, or last night, maybe both. You used soap, you used shampoo, you used a towel, you used a toothbrush with nylon bristles and toothpaste that contains fluoride, calcium carbonate, sorbitol, sodium lauryl sulfate, and mint flavoring. You used deodorant, you used moisturizer, you used water that came out of a pipe, heated by a machine you never think about, at a temperature you controlled with a single twist of your wrist. Your ancestors had none of this, and yet they were not caked in filth. They were not perpetually diseased. They were not constantly sick from poor hygiene. They managed to keep themselves clean enough to survive, to heal, to live long lives, and to mate without repelling each other. How? The answer is more creative than you think. Ancient humans did not just tolerate dirt. They developed sophisticated cleaning techniques using materials that you would never guess. And some of their methods were more effective than your morning shower. Let me start with a fundamental assumption. You think being clean means using soap and water. But soap and water is a recent invention. The oldest evidence of soap-like substances dates to about 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia. That is yesterday in evolutionary time. For 99% of human history, your ancestors cleaned themselves with materials that have nothing to do with soap, and they did it well enough to keep their wounds from getting infected, their teeth from rotting out, and their bodies from becoming so unappealing that no one wanted to be near them. Let me start with the simplest cleaning method. Water. You are standing next to a river. You are hot, sweaty, and covered in dust. You walk into the water. You rub your skin with your hands. The dirt comes off. You are cleaner than you were 5 minutes ago. Water alone is a surprisingly effective cleaning agent. It dissolves salts, washes away loose dirt, and cools your body. The problem is that water alone does not remove oils. Animal fat, plant resins, and your own sebum are not water-soluble. If you have been handling a dead animal, your hands are greasy. Water will not fix that. This is where ancient humans got clever. They used sand. Sand is an abrasive. When you rub wet sand against your skin, it physically scrapes away dirt, grease, and dead skin cells. It acts like a very gentle sandpaper. The sand people of the Kalahari use sand mixed with water as a body scrub. The Hadza of Tanzania use river sand to clean their hands after handling meat. Beach sand works even better because the salt helps break down grease. Sand plus water equals a cleaning system that requires no technology, no manufacturing, and no supply chain. You find a riverbank with sandy soil and you are done. You are clean. But sand is not the only abrasive. Ash is even more effective. Wood ash, the fine grey powder left after a fire burns, has alkaline properties. When mixed with water, it creates a mild lye solution that can break down fats and oils. This is the oldest soap in the world. You take wood ash, mix it with a little water, and rub it into your skin. The ash reacts with the fats on your skin to form a crude soap through a process called saponification. You rinse off the ash, and the grease goes with it. The chemical reaction is the same one that happens in modern soap making. Ancient humans did not understand the chemistry, but they understood the result. Ash makes you clean. Dr. Karen Hardy at ICREA Barcelona studied this extensively. In 2012, she published a paper showing that Neanderthals were using plants with medicinal and cleaning properties. She found evidence of yarrow and chamomile in Neanderthal dental calculus. These plants have antiseptic properties. Neanderthals were not accidentally chewing them, they were using them. Hardy argued that Neanderthals had a sophisticated understanding of plant chemistry. They knew which plants cleaned, they knew which plants healed, they knew which plants healed, they knew which plants killed parasites. This knowledge was not written down. It was passed from person to person, generation to generation, through direct experience. Now let me talk about clay. Clay is one of the most overlooked cleaning materials in human history. When you rub wet clay on your skin, it absorbs oils, toxins, and bacteria. The clay particles have a negative electrical charge that attracts positively charged particles of dirt and bacteria. As the clay dries, it pulls impurities out of your skin. When you rinse it off, the impurities go with it. The Hadza and the sand both use clay as a body cleanser. They dig specific types of clay from riverbanks, mix it with water, and apply it to their skin. After it dries, they brush or wash it off. The result is skin that is clean, smooth, and less smelly. Kaolin clay, bentonite clay, and other natural clays are still used in modern skincare products. Your face mask is literally ancient technology. You are paying money for a product that your ancestors made by digging a hole. Let me talk about something you might find strange. Urine? Ancient humans used urine as a cleaning agent, not just for cleaning themselves, but for cleaning clothes, tanning hides, and even brushing their teeth. Urine contains ammonia. Ammonia is a powerful cleaning agent. It breaks down grease and kills bacteria. Roman fullers used stale urine to clean woolen garments. Ancient Greeks used urine to whiten their teeth. The Kungsan of the Kalahari have been documented using urine to treat skin infections. Before you recoil, consider this. Modern science confirms that urine is sterile when it leaves a healthy body. Its antibacterial properties come from the urea, which decomposes into ammonia. Ancient humans did not know the word ammonia, but they knew the effect. Urine cleaned things, it killed smells, it prevented infection. I am not recommending this. I am telling you that your ancestors had a different relationship with their own waste products than you do. They reused everything. Nothing was wasted. Even urine had a purpose. Now let me talk about grooming. Not cleaning with materials, but cleaning with your hands and the hands of others. Grooming is one of the oldest primate behaviors. Chimpanzees spend hours each day grooming each other. They pick parasites, dirt, and debris from each other's fur. The behavior is not just hygienic, it is social. It builds trust, reinforces bonds, and resolves conflicts. Early humans lost most of their body fur roughly 1.5 million years ago. But they did not lose the grooming instinct. Instead of picking through fur, they began grooming skin. They removed ticks, lice, and thorns from each other's bodies. They cleaned wounds. They massaged sore muscles. The behavior remained social, even as the function changed. Dr. Donna Hart at the University of Missouri has argued that grooming was a key factor in human social evolution. Grooming creates trust. Trust enables cooperation. Cooperation enables everything else. The act of cleaning another person is a declaration of non-aggression. I am close enough to touch you. I am helping you. You can trust me. This is not trivial. In a world without soap, other people were your cleaning technology. You could not reach your own back. You could not see the wound on your shoulder. You needed someone else. And that someone else needed to be close enough, trusted enough, and skilled enough to help. Let me move to a specific cleaning practice that has an ancient origin. The toothbrush. You use a toothbrush with nylon bristles. The first modern toothbrush was invented in China in the 15th century, with bristles made from hog hair, but the practice of cleaning teeth is much older. The oldest dental cleaning tool is the chewing stick. You take a twig from a tree with natural antiseptic properties. You chew one end until it becomes frayed and brush-like. You use the frayed end to scrub your teeth. You use the other end as a toothpick. The chewing stick is still used in parts of Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. The most famous version is the miswak, made from the Salvadora persica tree. The World Health Organization has endorsed the miswak as an effective tooth cleaning tool. Studies show that miswak has natural antibacterial compounds that reduce plaque and prevent gum disease. Ancient humans did not need Colgate. They had Salvadora persica. They had neem twigs. They had licorice root. They had plants that cleaned their teeth and kept their mouths healthy, and their mouths were healthier than yours. A 2013 study by Dr. Alan Cooper at the University of Adelaide analyzed the ancient oral microbiome from dental calculus. He found that ancient human mouths contained a diverse community of beneficial bacteria that kept harmful bacteria in check. The modern mouth, by contrast, is a monoculture of cavity, causing Streptococcus mutans, promoted by refined sugar and processed carbohydrates. Ancient humans had bad breath sometimes, but they had fewer cavities. They cleaned their teeth without toothpaste and got better results. Now let me talk about the ultimate ancient cleaning technology: fire. Fire does not just cook food and keep you warm. It sanitizes. When you hold a tool over a flame, the heat kills bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Ancient humans used fire to sterilize their tools. They heated their spear points to harden them and clean them. They passed their cutting tools through the flame between uses. They also used fire for steam baths. Sweat lodges are documented in cultures around the world. You heat rocks in a fire, transfer them to an enclosed space, pour water over them, and sit in the steam. The heat opens your pores. The sweat flushes toxins from your skin. After a sweat lodge session, you rinse off with cold water. You are deeply clean. Sweat lodges are not just hygiene. They are ritual, social, and medicinal. But they started with a simple observation. Heat makes you sweat. Sweat carries dirt away. You are cleaner after you sweat than before. The oldest archaeological evidence of sweat lodge-like structures comes from the Gravettian period in Europe, roughly 30,000 years ago. Underground structures with fire-cracked rocks, interpreted as sweat houses. 30,000 years of steam cleaning. Let me talk about another overlooked cleaning method: air and sun. You have probably noticed that a wool sweater left outside on a sunny day smells fresher when you bring it in. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant. Ultraviolet radiation kills bacteria, fungi, and mites. Fresh air disperses odors. Ancient humans used this principle constantly. They hung their animal skin clothing outside to air out. They slept in open structures that allowed wind to carry away body odors. They spent most of their time outdoors, which meant their living spaces did not accumulate the concentrated smells of modern indoor life. A modern person's home is a closed environment. Your sweat, your cooking smells, your pet dander, your cleaning chemicals all mixed together in a sealed space. An ancient human's home was the landscape. The air moved constantly, the smells dispersed. The bacteria died in the sunlight. You can simulate this by opening a window. That is all ancient hygiene was: open windows and sunshine scaled to a whole lifestyle. Now let me address something that you have definitely wondered about. What about your private parts? Did ancient humans have any concept of intimate hygiene? Yes, and they took it seriously. Ethnographic records from hunter-gatherer societies show that women have historically used a variety of natural materials for menstrual management and intimate cleaning. Soft moss, plant fibers, animal hide, and absorbent grasses were used as pads. Water rinsing was standard. Some groups used specific plants with astringent properties. The Dani people of Papua New Guinea use a specific type of moss for postpartum cleaning. The San use soft animal hide. The materials change, but the practice is universal. Ancient women managed their hygiene with natural materials that were readily available and biodegradable. Let me now talk about the relationship between cleanliness and disease. You might think that ancient humans were constantly sick because they did not have modern hygiene. But the evidence tells a different story. Dr. Alan Froment at Austin published a comprehensive survey of hygiene practices among modern hunter-gatherers in 1997. He found that hunter-gatherers have a different disease profile than agricultural or industrial populations. They have fewer infectious diseases because they live in small, mobile groups that do not accumulate waste. They have fewer dental problems because they do not eat refined sugar. Their wounds heal faster because they are not constantly exposed to the concentrated bacteria of settled life. The irony is that agriculture made hygiene worse. When humans settled down, they began living in close quarters with their own waste. Crop surpluses attracted rodents. Stored food bred mold and pests. Villages became disease hotspots. The first settlements were some of the unhealthiest places humans have ever lived. Ancient hunter-gatherers were not dirty. They were living in a way that did not make them dirty in the first place. Their camps were temporary. Their waste was left behind when they moved. Their bodies were exposed to sunlight and moving air. Their cleaning methods, as simple as they seem, were adequate for a lifestyle that did not generate the concentrated filth of civilization. Let me bring this back to you. You spend a lot of time and money on hygiene, soap, shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, moisturizer, sunscreen. The beauty and personal care industry is a trillion-dollar global market. You have been told that you need these products to be clean, to be acceptable, to be normal. The evidence from your ancestors suggests. Otherwise, your ancestors were clean enough. They were healthy enough. They were attractive enough. They did not need 100 products. They needed water, sand, ash, clay, plant twigs, and other people to help them reach the spots they could not reach themselves. You are not cleaner than them. You are differently clean. Your cleanliness depends on a global supply chain that delivers plastic bottles, synthetic chemicals, and heated water to your bathroom every morning. Their cleanliness depended on knowledge that had been tested for hundreds of thousands of years and passed down through direct teaching. When the supply chain breaks, you will not be clean. When the electricity goes out, your water stops heating. When the stores close, your soap runs out. Your ancestors' cleaning kit worked with no supply chain at all. You have inherited their bodies. You have not inherited their knowledge. You are clean only as long as the system works. Let me add one more cleaning method that was probably more important than all the others. Grooming with plants that produce natural saponins. Saponins are chemical compounds found in many plants that create a lather when mixed with water. The soapwort plant, Saponaria officinalis, has been used as a natural soap for thousands of years. Its roots and leaves produce a foamy lather that cleans effectively. The soapry Sapindus produces fruits that contain saponins strong enough to wash clothes. The yucca plant, used by indigenous peoples of the American Southwest, produces a root that makes excellent soap. Ancient humans did not need to manufacture soap because they could find soap in nature. They had to experiment to try different plants to find which ones created lather and which ones irritated the skin. This was not accidental. This was systematic knowledge accumulation over generations. Elaine Froment's 1997 survey documented that hunter-gatherers across Africa typically know between 20 and 40 plant species used for cleaning and cosmetic purposes. This is not trivial information. It is a botanical encyclopedia carried in human memory. Each plant has a season for harvesting, a method of preparation, and a specific cleaning application. Consider the baobab tree. The fruit pulp of the baobab can be rubbed on the skin as a cleanser. The seeds can be pressed for oil that moisturizes. The leaves can be used as a rough towel. One tree provides multiple cleaning products. The knowledge of how to use each part of the baobab for hygiene is part of the traditional knowledge passed from mother to daughter, father to son. Now think about body odor. You use deodorant because you do not want to smell like sweat. But ancient humans did not have deodorant. Did they just smell terrible all the time? The answer is complicated. Body odor is caused by bacteria breaking down the compounds in your sweat. The specific bacteria that produce the strongest smells thrive in the warm, moist, dark environments of your armpits and groin. Modern humans have these bacteria because we wear clothes. Clothes trap sweat and create ideal conditions for odor-producing bacteria. Ancient humans wore little to no clothing in many environments. Their sweat evaporated quickly. Their skin was exposed to sunlight, which killed bacteria. Their armpits were open to the air. They did not create the conditions that produce strong body odor in the first place. And when they did have odor, they were surrounded by people who smelled similar. The human sense of smell is relative. What you find offensive is what you are not used to. A 2015 study by Dr. Thomas Hummel at the University of Dresden showed that people have strong preferences for body odors that match their own genetic immune profile. We are attracted to people who smell different from us. This means that ancient humans were not repelled by natural body odor. They were reading it for information about genetic compatibility, what you call bad smell. They called a signal. Let me also talk about lice. Head lice, body lice, and pubic lice are ancient companions of humans. They have been with us for millions of years. The evolution of lice tells us something important about when humans started wearing clothes regularly. A 2003 study by Dr. Ralph Kittler at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology used lice genetics to date the origin of human clothing. The body louse, which lives in clothing, diverged from the head louse approximately 170,000 years ago. This is the earliest date for regular clothing use. Before that, humans were mostly naked and got rid of their head lice by grooming. Lice were a constant problem. Ancient humans picked lice out of each other's hair and crushed them between their fingernails. This sounds disgusting to you, but it was a normal part of social grooming. The act of delousing was intimate and bonding. Mothers deloused children. Lovers deloused each other. Friends deloused friends. It was a practical act that also reinforced social relationships. In some cultures, delousing is still a common social practice. Among the Aka pygmies of Central Africa, couples spend significant time grooming each other's hair. The act is so embedded in their relationships that they report feeling closer to each other during and after grooming.